What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? This is Jeff Benjamin with I Download Blog. I am going to show you a tweak that, for whatever reason, I don't know what the circumstances were. Actually, I think I was in Korea at the time, or maybe Japan or somewhere. There's a jailbreak tweak called Tage that I have been using for about a month now, and I absolutely love it. And to me, after using all the other jailbreak tweaks this year, I have to say that this is my 2014 jailbreak tweak of the year. It is Tage. It brings great gesture functionality directly to your iPhone, allows you to use even large screen devices one-handedly, more comfortably, and it allows you to do some really cool things that I'm going to show you in this video. Now, granted, you probably already know about Tage. You're probably very familiar with it because it is a Zephyr replacement, and it actually does some things that Zephyr didn't do. Zephyr, of course, is the legendary jailbreak tweak that first brought these multitasking gestures to the iPhone in a way that actually worked well, and that is what Tage does as well. So once you install Tage, which can be downloaded, actually, you can get a free trial of it, I think, for 3 days, and there's a $1.99 license that you can purchase. Once you download it and install it, you'll see this. Here's the Tage preference panel, and as you can see, there's quite a few preferences to be found here, and these are all used to configure the way this jailbreak tweak works. But let me just show you some basic functionality without getting into the nitty-gritty details right off the bat, because I don't want to bore you guys. So let me just show you why I think Tage is so cool. First of all, you can still use your normal control center, as you see here. You see my control center. I can access that per normal, no big deal, right? But you can also access other things using gestures on your device. For instance, if I swipe up from the middle of the screen, or from the middle bottom, right above the home button, I can activate the app switcher just like that. And of course, I can swipe through all of my list of apps. Pretty easy, right? But there's also other things it can do, like this quick switcher, which allows me to swipe up from the bottom corner and quickly switch through all my apps, so I can quickly get to a specific app that I want to switch to, say the Stocks app, if I want to go to the Stocks app. And let's say I wanted to switch to another app that was running next to the Stocks app. Well, I can just swipe over. Let me try to do this one-handedly. There you go. So I just swiped over just like that to switch to the next app, and I can keep swiping over like that. And notice I'm not touching the home button at all during all of this. And say I wanted to get back to the home screen. Well, I can just swipe up to dismiss and get back to the home screen. Or say I wanted to invoke the app switcher. Say I had an app running. I'm just going to go back to my app switcher here. And say I wanted to go back to the app switcher. Well, instead of swiping up and releasing, just swipe up and hold. And that will invoke the app switcher just like that. So as you can see, Tage is extremely cool. And it, deservedly so, is my 2014 jailbreak tweak of the year. And that really is just scratching the surface because there's tons of different settings in here. But those were the main things that you're going to be able to appreciate from Tage. At the top in the preferences, you have a kill switch for the close or activate app switcher. You have the screen area, so you can choose where you want to swipe up from. I think the default settings are perfect. The center will actually close an app or open up the app switcher just like that. So I think the center is a good setting for that, and I think that was well warranted. You could still use even though you have your switcher to switch between apps, from the side of the screen like that, you could still use your back gesture, which is a gesture like that. You just have to kind of work at it and get it down, but you can still use that back gesture if that is a concern for you. Now, switching apps, you can see here, and again, if you're really concerned about that back gesture, you can just change the number of fingers required when switching apps. It doesn't make it as convenient to use 2 fingers, but if you find problems going to the back, then you may want to try that out here. There's also sensitivity. You can adjust the sensitivity of that gesture. You can adjust the screen area even. So say, you know what, I'm having problems getting that back gesture to work, so I only want the bottom half to use the app switching gesture. So the bottom half now will allow me to switch between apps like this. Oops, as soon as I get it. Oops, let's try that again. All right, let's try bottom half. There we go. All right, so the bottom half only allows me to switch between apps. So the top half obviously won't allow me to do that, but I can use that go back gesture easily from the top now. So it's kind of, you're just going to have to play around with it to determine what works for you. Personally, I find that this is a setting that works really well for me, using the bottom half setting, because, most of the time your fingers are down here at the bottom of the screen. There's also keyboard disables if you want to disable the keyboard. There's quick switcher, which I showed you here, to swipe up from the left or right side of the device. Quick switcher allows you to do some really cool things here. If you don't want to switch to another app, just slide down, and then you can just go and scroll through your apps manually like that. There's the screen area for the quick switcher. This is the left and right corner right now, but you can set it up to just use the left or the right corner if you want to do that. There is a shift up selected app, so you can kind of know which app you're going to select when you invoke the quick switcher. You can see how the apps are now shifting up to show you which one it will actually switch to when you release your finger. So if I go here on, let's try the compass, it's going to switch to the compass there. And if I go back here to the settings, it's going to switch to the settings because it shifted up. So that's a nice feature to keep enabled. There's scrolling speed, so you can turn it up to be really fast. Believe it or not, it's set to slow right now. There's also quit app delay. So if you want to quit apps from the quick switcher, you can just delay like this. For instance, I'm going to delay right on the Stocks app or the Compass app, and that will quit that app just like that. So if you want that delay, you can do that. So let's swipe back over here. Let's try to get that again. There we go. All right, and let's go back. Oops. Try to do this one-handed on video, but you get the point. Once you get it down, it's really, really cool. This has become second nature to you, and again, it eliminates the need to use that home button. And you don't have to worry about wearing out your home button as well. Let's see, lock device. You can actually lock your device using a simple gesture like that. So that's cool, and I have that set to swipe from the top edge left or top edge swipe right. So you saw that in action, and of course there's other settings you can set up there. Keyboard disables. There's also disables in apps. So if there is a specific app, sorry, I got tongue tied. If there's a specific app you don't want to use Tage in, you can set that here. I'm going to set for the calculator, and I'm going to tap done. And now I'm going to switch the calculator app here, and watch what happens. I can no longer use those Tage gestures. For instance, swiping up from the middle no longer does anything but invokes Control Center. So even the quick switcher is gone, and I can't swipe between apps or anything like that. So it completely disables Tage functionality while within that particular app because I have it disabled. And if I want to remove it, I can just delete it like this. There we go. Alrighty. Let's see. What else do we have here? Page swipe down action. Oh, so if you're in the app switcher, let me just go to the app switcher, and I swipe down on a page, on an app card, I can quit all apps, quit background apps, or quit other apps. So I can quit all other apps except the one I swipe down on, which is kind of neat. And you can also, let me show you this, perform a swipe down gesture on the home screen card, and you get even more options like power off, reboot, safe mode, respring, lock, quit all apps, quit background apps. So that's nice as well. And then there is a setting here where you can change what this does, either show the menu or you can do actions directly, like you can immediately reboot or respring when you swipe down on the home page app card in the app switcher there. And same for app page, you can do things specifically there. There's kill background. You can set up a whitelist for killing specific apps that you don't want to be killed. You can keep the now playing app running if you're playing a song. So you can see Tage is extremely deep. It allows you to navigate using only your finger or your thumb. You don't have to use your home button, and it is, to me, deeper than Zephyr was. And with that quick switcher, it competes with other tweaks like Auxo 3, for instance. And I think the quick switcher actually on Tage is a little... It's not as nice looking, but it's more, it's definitely more, what do you call it? responsive, I guess you could say. There's no delay or lag with that, and just feels smoother. Although it doesn't look as good as OXO 3's quick switcher, the functionality of the quick switcher in Tage, it just seems to be smoother and more responsive. So with all that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, Tage is my jailbreak tweak of 2014. I know it's probably like shocking to you that this is my pick, but it is, and for good reason. As you saw, the many features that this jailbreak tweak packs in for just $1.99, you can really navigate large screen devices like the iPhone 6 Plus easier. You can navigate smaller devices. It works with iOS 8. It came out in 2014, so it's definitely a valid selection for Tweak of the Year. And congratulations to Ma June. This is a developer who's been in the community for a long time and has come out with several different great jailbreak tweaks. This is the latest and the greatest. It is Tage, ladies and gentlemen. $1.99 on the Big Boss repo. Try it out. There's a free trial. Folks, let me know. Do you agree with me? Is this 2014 jailbreak tweak of the year, or do you pick something else? Let me know down below in the comment section. This is Jeff with iDownload Blog.